JTF Fridays is live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, everybody. It's Tim McDonald, founder and CEO of iTheatrics, and welcome to the very first JT Fridays live at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Today is World Theater Day, and none of us get to do theater the way that we used to do it. But you know what we are going to do? We're going to gather here every Friday at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and we are going to do the thing that we do best, the thing that we do that heals ourselves and heals this world, and that is we're going to make the world a better place, one musical at a time. I'm just so excited to be here and to welcome you all in. So, what is this going to be? Well, we're going to talk to some friends. In fact, we have some really great familiar faces lined up. Vichet has them in the virtual backstage area green room. I understand the catering is terrible depending on where you are. That's a joke because people are alone. Never mind. Anyway, what we're going to do is welcome Cindy Ripley today. We're going to have a conversation with Marty, who has some fun announcements to make. And then Mr. Rob Rokicki is going to join us live right here. So exciting. So, there is a wizard behind the scenes. There's always a wizard, the technicians behind the scenes making us all look good. And that is our dear friend, Mr. Vichet Chum. Vichet, wizard, show thyself.
Gryffindor!
Slytherin!
Rude.
No, I'm feeling more like a Hufflepuff today, for sure.
You kind of look like a Hufflepuff. It's the
You
good.
are? I mean, come on. I got my sequins on.
It's good. It's good.
Now, I should point out that I'm not wearing proper pants.
Oh, don't zoom out, please.
No. I'm definitely, they're like shorts. There's I feel like everyone's just moved to yoga world, although I'm not doing any yoga. How about you?
Yes, currently, downward dog.
Well, are we ready to do this thing?
Yes, you want to start with the Sondheim Pledge, sir?
Let's please start with the Sondheim Pledge. This is a brand new pledge, you guys. I'm going to use a cheat sheet. I'm going to try to have it from memory, but, see what happens. So, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Okay, in traditional JTF fashion, I will repeat that because I know half of you actually said state your name instead of your name. So, I do hereby promise to defeat this pandemic through physical distancing, by keeping a positive attitude, and by helping others in need. Because I am an artist, and I will use my artistic superpowers to make the world a better place. So help me, Sondheim! You guys, that was really strange. I'm used to doing that with 7,000 people, and it's just me. Steven's in the other room. He's watching this on Facebook, making sure it's working. Hi, Facebook friends. Hi, YouTube friends. Hi, everybody. So, here we go. We have our Vichet, we have our friends backstage ready to go. I want to tell you what this is going to be each week. So, we're basically going to replicate our junior theater festivals, only we're going to do them virtually. So we will chat with our friends. We will sing and dance together sometimes. We'll have live performances. But mostly, we're just going to gather and be together virtually. Because I feel like that's what we all need right now. All right? So let's welcome our very first guest. She is the talented Mrs. Ripley.
Hi, Tim.
Hi, Cindy. How are you?
I am good. I already feel better just because I know everybody's here, all our peeps, and it just makes you feel good, relaxes you a little bit. I love it. It's the best in 2 weeks right now.
It's funny. I can feel the energy, even though I can't see the energy.
It's really strange. It's because we know they're there, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. So where are you during the sequester?
I'm at home in Buffalo, and things are good. I'm finally getting a groove and I think a balance. And I think with everybody and everybody who's listening, they're all artists. We all have a balance. I'm one of those crazy people who's got to be doing a million things a day. That's the way my brain works. And I've had to really tone that down a little bit, but I'm getting a balance and it's all good. And now that we can start being creative, you realize your medicine comes in different forms, with
I
what
do. Are you getting any good times in with your lovely, beautiful granddaughter?
Yes, because my daughter and son-in-law are frontline healthcare essential workers. That's a challenge for them. Heart goes out to them every day, and daycare takes care of them a lot of the time. And there's 2 days. Today was one of them where we get to have her for a little while, but we're not allowed to see them because of what they're doing in the health field right now. So it's kind of a little drop off, this little 10-month bundle drop off. And the couple hours we have her, you just realize what's important in the world. And she gets a lot of extra piano lessons. So it's all good.
She'll be a virtuoso by 2, I have no doubt.
Who knows?
Well, I'm glad you're being able to do that and to take advantage of this time. Think of the stories you're going to have to tell her about this.
Yeah, you're right. Sooner the better.
Sooner the better, for sure. I know that I'm spending a lot of time like this over a keyboard,
Right.
and I'm anxious and my body is tense. And so I keep thinking, what could solve that? And then I think, well, the person who gives the very best centering warm-up exercises is the talented Mrs. Ripley. I'm wondering, would you lead us all through one of your awesome exercises?
I'd love to, because it's hard to find anybody who doesn't need that right now, whether we want to think we do or not. It's been a crazy couple weeks. I left a bunch of wonderful kids at a workshop in Cape Coral, Florida. On my way home, the world turned upside down about a week and a half ago. And I think since then, people are just out of sorts, whether it's being confined or not being with their friends or not being with their colleagues or not eating what they want. But I know one thing that's common with all of us, and we spent all this time doing this on digital devices because that's our conversation. We talk all the time. That's what extroverts do. They need people, and that's the only way we can get it. But with that comes a little stress. You probably feel like some of you center stress here in your shoulders and your neck for sure. So let's just try a couple things for a second. Play with me here. If you're sitting down or you're standing up, whatever you're doing, just kind of follow directions and don't worry about giving any. Let your top of your head just go right down so your chin almost drops to your chest. Let it fall wherever it's comfortable, and then raise it up slowly again. This time, I want you to let out a whole lot of air as you do that. When you drop your head slowly, as much as you can, exhale. Here we go. This time, imagine there's 2 tiny little air holes in the bottom of your feet. And if you're sitting, the air is going to come up past your ankles, past your calves, past your thighs, up your back to kind of expand your whole chest, like just a great singing thing. And a lot of you singers, this is the first thing we always do in a warm-up. But think about all that air, holding it up there. And then when we exhale it, you are exhaling that and all the stress you felt the last 2 weeks. So here we go, sipping in that air. It's going to take a while. Are you ready? Here we go. Sip, 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 sip. You're expanding. Sip, 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 and let it out forever and let your head drop. Keep going. Beautiful. And come up very slowly. You should feel a little cleaner because you let a lot of that out. At the same time, think about the stress that's been here and what's happened, especially when you're doing this and you're over a device. I know you have been there. So take your shoulders and roll them backwards. And if they're crunching, you know you've been in one position for a long time. So take them back. Take them forward a little bit. If you want to get artsy, take one back and one forward at the same time. And go back as you're doing that. Now this time, do a pec stretch or a chest stretch. This is what you need more than anything because we're all curving and necks are down. So stretch back. If you're in a door frame, about 20 times a day, put your hands up on the jambs of the door and push that back because you're doing the opposite move that you're doing when you're talking to all of us now. So do the chest stretch a few times. And this time, take your chin again, and you're going to pull it to the right, turn all that way and let it go. Let it roll around 180 degrees to the left. If it cracks, that's cool. Now relax more and let it drop when you do it. We'll go back to the right. Here we go. Don't ever go all the way around, guys. Just do 180. And let's kind of end up by stretching that neck one more time. Would you take your hand gently and just tip the top of your head to the right and hold it there? Don't think about anything. Just hold it and it starts to relax a little more. And then would you take the other hand and would you pull it to the left? Keep your shoulders down and relaxed. And bring it back. Lift your head up. I can tell there's a whole white, clean canvas there. So you can let all those artistic ideas show themselves a little better. How are you feeling, Tim?
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much for leading us through that.
My pleasure.
So you have a big announcement to make.
I do. If your hands are idle, get a drum roll going, please. Come on. A little bit bigger.
Hey there, I'm going to step in right here. Cindy, it looks like we're having some sound stuff. So I'm going to bring in Tim for just a second.
Okay, great.
Oh, your sound working now.
It is.
Do you want to start from the very beginning if that's okay, Cindy?
About Teachable Tuesdays. I'm
Yeah.
happy to. We'll skip the drum roll, but everybody, the exciting news is Teachable Tuesdays are going to be 4 o'clock starting next Tuesday on Zoom. The workshop's going to feature some centering warm-up and some musical theater playtime. It's going to lead you in building musical theater skills, and they're going to be about 20 minutes long. We can have up to 100 teachers in our Zoom room working live with us. And we're going to stream the session on iTheatrics Facebook page and our YouTube channel. Also, the bonus is we're going to make the materials we use available for download afterwards. So you can lead your students in the same workshop if you'd like to. So be sure to check it out this Tuesday at 4. Thanks.
Thank you, Cindy. I'm so excited. I will be there. I will be there with bells on. No, because bells make noise. I'll just be there virtually.
Perfect.
Thank you, Cindy. Oh, Vizier Vichet, who is next?
Please welcome to the live stream, Director of Education at iTheatrics, Mr. Marty Johnson.
Hey,
Hi, Marty. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Now you're in Hell's Kitchen.
I'm in Hell's Kitchen right in Times Square, New York City, which is where my apartment is. I happen to be about 4 blocks from the iTheatrics office. So in my appropriate social distancing to get outside and get some air, I'll walk to the office and check in on everything. It's great. Everything's fine there, except it's a little sad that we're not there working, but we're all working virtually and still connecting. So it's okay.
Absolutely.
Here in New York City.
So I think like the Ripleys sent me a case of wine to the office, which I won't see for a couple weeks maybe.
Right. If I leave it there and don't walk it home the 4 blocks to my house, that's where you'll find it. Yes.
Hey, desperate times, you can drink another man's wine. That's A-okay.
Yes.
Well, you have a very exciting announcement to make also.
I do. Like our new JT Fridays and Teachable Tuesdays, we have a brand new project, a Zoomsicle. Yes, Zoom, like the platform a lot of you are using right now to hold rehearsals and cast gatherings and just checking in with everyone. We are actually going to use Zoom to produce a musical. We have created a 20-minute version of The Big 1-0, and we'll have 16 students from across the country who are going to get together, rehearse through Zoom, test some things out, and we're super duper excited. It will start. We're actually starting rehearsals next week for this. So invitations and some auditions and casting will all take place over this weekend so we can start, but we cannot wait. We don't know exactly what we're going to do for those rehearsal. Well, actually we do because we've been figuring it out, but you're going to have a live musical. Because we can't not do live musicals. We have to make the world a better place, one musical at a time.
Absolutely. And so, seriously, how are you going to put on a live musical using Zoom?
Well, we don't really know. Part of the problem with Zoom is you can't have multiple people singing at the same time. There's lag, there's different things. But we've got some things up our sleeves. We've worked out some specific things. Kind of think of The Little Mermaid that was on TV last year, the live, but then there was parts that were pre-recorded, but then a lot of it was live. Might be something along that. And we've been having actually a great time connecting and rehearsing as a staff and iTheatrics staff. If you saw us on Instagram, there's a picture of yourself and Gianna and Dan and I working and figuring some things out. So we think we have it figured out. We also are casting 16 really smart kids, so they're going to help us make it better. And we're just excited. And more importantly, and what's really cool, and I know you had a big part of this, so thank you, Tim. Dean Pitchford and Doug Besterman and yourself, the authors of it, have given us the rights to do it. And I know you've been working with Doug and Dean specifically on this adaptation.
Yeah, I was working with Dean yesterday evening, and he was so excited. He was so giddy. As am I. It's so nice to be able to do something creative and to exercise that part of my brain and my being. Also, I feel completely like this is going to work because Dean Pitchford himself, Academy Award winner Dean Pitchford, is tweaking our storytelling so that it will fit the Zoom platform. I mean, come on.
I know it's amazing how much everyone has jumped onto this new world that we're living in, but are still finding all these ways to be creative and connect. And that's what we're really trying to do with everyone, and to do this great show. And so we're going to start rehearsals, like I said, next week. And then 3 weeks from today, April 17th, we're going to have our show ready to perform as part of JT Fridays. So we are up for the challenge. We are excited for it, and we cannot wait.
I cannot wait. Hey, maybe we could get some of the cast members, because you're starting rehearsals next week, as you just said.
Yeah.
Maybe we get some of them to report in at next week's JT Fridays live at 4.
Sure. We'll make that happen 100%.
Amazing. Marty, thank you so much.
My pleasure. See you all Tuesday for Teachable Tuesdays, and then next Friday.
Yay. Bye, Marty. All right, V-Chat. Who's our next guest?
Please welcome Broadway and iTheatrics' own Rob Rokicki.
Hi.
Rob.
You guys could claim me long before Broadway could.
That's true. How are you, my friend?
I'm so well. I mean,
Yeah?
as well as can be. I'm
Yeah,
glad to see familiar faces today. Yeah, makes me happy.
Me too. So did you do the concert in England? Or
we did a concert. I did a concert with a friend of mine in the UK yesterday, where named Adam Lenson, who works on developing a lot of new musicals. So he did this thing called the Signal event that he likes to do in the UK with a lot of UK writers. And he had this idea, why don't we just make it global? And so it was a lot of technical snafus and figuring it out, but we had folks from Wales and Scotland and the UK and New York It was wonderful getting to share new musical theater. So yeah, it's nice to feel our community. We're all still here, all still trying to make stuff, all still trying to support each other.
It feels like what the early days of television must have felt like
Sure.
when everyone was scrambling to use this new technology. But we have that extra bonus of being, sequestered, locked alone.
We have time.
So, yeah, we have time. Yes. I know so much about Zoom, something I never thought I'd need to learn.
Oh my Lord. Yeah. And there's so many streaming things too. I didn't even know how they all work, and audio things that work, StreamYard, Clean Feed, Skype. I thought I could do Skype okay, but Zoom is like, it's next level now. So
It is next level, next generation. So, Rob, you and I right now would be heading to Yeah.
We were supposed to be in San Francisco right now. We wrote that wonderful adaptation of You Need the Unicorn, the best-selling children's book that you wrote such a delightful script to, Tim. It was such a joy working on that show with you. And I am so hopeful that people are going to get to see that in some iteration, because I think it was really charming. We had some beautiful puppets. It was for Bay Area Children's Theater.
Yes, shout out to Nina Meehan.
Mm-hmm.
And we are just postponed. Our show will see the light of day because unicorns are magical. So the unicorn's going to fix it.
That's right.
So I think VChat is going to torture you with some random question and answers. I think they're going to be pretty softballs. So I don't
All right.
get any. VChat, we have.
Yes, I do have some questions for you. Actually, we have some question askers. The first question we have is from New York, New York, Mr. Beckett Fuller.
Uh-oh. Hey,
Hi.
Beckett.
So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
My favorite song from your Broadway musical, The Lightning Thief, is
Yes.
Good Kid. How did you, what made you do that song? How did you do that song?
How did I write that song?
What inspired you?
What inspired me? Well, it was a moment in the show where, we had a 1-hour version of the show and we wanted to expand the show. And I think what we wanted to have is a little bit of more moments where we get to sit with the characters and see how they really feel. So this was a song where we finally get to, like, the last kind of straw that breaks the camel's back for Percy, where he kind of lashes out. And I knew what I wanted to do immediately. I knew it had to be this, like, the big kind of the end of Act 1 song where Percy is just kind of snaps. The song was inspired by a couple different artists I really love. You're too young to know Bruce Springsteen, but there's an artist named Bruce Springsteen. He's great. He uses glockenspiel, which is a really beautiful little sound. I don't know if I have a glockenspiel on my piano right now, but it's a really pretty sound that I think emphasizes hope. And I use that sound a lot. I also do some octave jumps in the song because Percy's so angry. So like that comes out of like him just like needing to yell, and it's this like big octave leaps. So that's kind of how it started. And then the like stomping, the 3/4 time signature, the like that comes from Percy just kind of like stomping. So it all came from out of like physically what Percy might be going through at that moment.
Thank you.
Sure. Thanks for your question.
All right. Our second question also comes from New York, New York, Gianna Odland.
Hey.
Hi,
Rob.
Gianna.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. So I wanted to ask a musical expert like yourself, because I know that not only are you a composer, but you also teach and you work with a lot of students of various ages.
I do.
If somebody has, I'm going to call it allergy symptoms of some mucus and some, breathing and whatever, what would you recommend for them to do to keep their vocal instrument in the best health?
Well, one of the good things about being sequestered here is that my wife, Amanda Flynn, who's actually teaching a voice lesson in the other room, she's an incredible voice teacher, and some of the things that she has told me that I've taken is to have a humidifier if you can. That's like super helpful to keep humidity in the air. Another is to do just a gentle warm up. You can do that in the shower in the morning, which is just like a nice easy hum to get your voice going. I like to do lip trills. Get some air flowing through that, because sometimes I know it just gets bogged down with allergies. You can always take something like a Benadryl or a Zyrtec or something like that, but some of those may dry you out. So humidifier is always helpful, and stay hydrated.
Cool. And keep social distance, obviously.
And obviously keep social distance. Yes.
Cool. Thanks, Rob.
Sure.
All right, we have our last question. It also comes from New York City, New York. Mr. August Fuller.
Hey.
Hey. Where's your beard? I'm growing mine out, August.
No, I don't have.
Gus, you're still working on yours? All right.
Yeah. My question is, how are you working on a new musical in social distancing when you can't have anybody work on the music with you?
Well, that's a good question. I am working on a couple different projects, and I'm doing that by Zoom, like we're doing right now. And I'm also doing sharing things on documents like Google Drive, and where I can call people a lot. I do a lot of FaceTime. I'm working on a musical right now with my friend Sarah Beth, and she and I will call each other and read through the scenes over the phone, but both of us have a script that we go through on the same time. We'll share each other's screens and stuff like that too. It's a little isolating. It's a little hard, but what's fun is I get to work on something. I'll send it to her. She'll take a listen to it, give me notes, send it back. And that's pretty much how I would write, whether or not we were together or not in a room.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I love Gus Fuller.
Oh, Gus Fuller. He's the best.
Also, if Gus has a beard by the time we're done with this, I'm out.
Yeah, I hope not.
No,
I cleaned mine up a little bit, but yeah, it's getting a little long.
Hey, we're about to learn what color Cindy Ripley's hair actually is.
I'm waiting for that one, McDonald.
Well, you look fab, Cindy. You always do.
She does look fabulous. So, Rob, can we talk you into doing a number, maybe?
Sure. So, speaking of that song I wrote for my friends in the UK, the assignment was to write something new. So this is a brand new song. No one's ever heard of it except a couple people yesterday. But this will be the first time American audiences will hear it. I wanted to write a song that was hopeful. I was kind of going through what we were. I was kind of feeling. How do I articulate what we're all going through right now as a songwriter? And I just thought, all it is you just. It's so hard to. You can get overwhelmed. I think so. All we can do is kind of one thing at a time where we're at. Do what we can with what we have. And so that came this idea of like, just one note at a time, up a scale. So I gave myself the parameters of I'm going to write a song using just this scale. So that's where this song came from. So I will sing it to you.
Yay!
It has some funny, not funny, but strange lyrics in it. So I can explain later if anybody needs to know any definitions of words. Sometimes a hand can be heavy to lift when you ain't got the heart to reach out for a note. And sometimes you steal all your lines like a grift when the truth wants to sit like a lump in your throat. But one note after the other is how you build a song. One note after the other, the walls are solid, the roof is strong. One time a melody, beautiful, strange, came into my car though no music was on. And I swear if I had me a paper and pen, but it went in my ear and then it was gone. It seems like one thing after another wants to break your song. One thing after another, the verses fail, the chorus is wrong. Sometimes a hand can be heavy to lift, but hoist up your arm just enough to extend. 'Cause someone once told me the weight is a gift, and it's lighter when it's in the hand of a friend. And one note after another is how we'll build our song. One note after the other, brick by brick, get us back where we belong. Yeah.
Yay! Rob, that's beautiful.
Thank you. It made me feel a little better, so I hope it makes other people feel a little better too.
It made me feel a lot better. Hey, I have a crazy idea. What if we like made a track, made sheet music, and asked all of our watchers to create a video of themselves singing that song? And we could do like a video.
I would love that. Yeah, no. Hey, I have time to put sheet music together, so I will do that.
I think that would be really cool.
Yeah. Maybe I can get Dan Mertzlev to arrange it for me.
He's not doing a lot these days. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be great. We'll get Dan to do it and work on it. And look, hey, Vichette will just do an announcement maybe on our socials on Monday.
Awesome. Love it.
Roger that.
Roger that. Okay, thanks. Well, Rob, thank you so much for sharing that. And
thank you.
Stay healthy, stay sequestered.
I am. I'm drinking out of my Once on this Island mug right here.
Don't turn into a tree. Do not turn into a tree.
I promise I won't.
All right. Bye, Rob. Let you guys know that was our first JTF Fridays live at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I have to say, it was really fun. It's a little nerve-wracking. It's a new platform to learn. This
hey, and all. Tim, looks like your sound was messed up for a second, so let's just take that back.
Roger. Ironically, what I was saying is that this new technology is a little nerve-wracking, but we're putting ourselves out there, warts and all, because it's really important for us to connect during these difficult times. Hey, so a bunch of great announcements. Our Zoomsicle, the big 1-0, we'll be checking in on that at next week's show. I'm also working at getting some of our friends here, like Ariel Jacobs and Pasek and Paul and Dean Pitchford. I've also had other folks reach out, some fun folks. So you never know who's going to show up at JT Fridays live at 4 Eastern Standard Time. If you would like to be in our Zoom room for this coming Tuesday's Teachable Tuesday, then email Lindsay at iTheatrics.com. Oh, thank you, Vichette. I spelled that out. I don't have to. So just write Lindsay. We can only fit up to about 100 people in the room, but then we'll live stream it on Facebook and YouTube. So if you don't get into the room, you can watch and participate from home or from wherever you are. Lindsay will let you know sometime on Monday, if you made it into the room or not. It's just first come, first served. So write her right now if you'd like to do that. Again, that's Tuesday at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for continuing to inspire us. I'm watching all of the things that you guys are doing on social media, to keep our students focused and mentally healthy and physically healthy. And I gotta say, you're an impressive group of folks. So please continue doing what you do to make the world a better place, one musical at a time. And I will see you next week right here at JT Fridays live at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
That's a wrap, everyone. Good job.
Bye, everybody.
Good job, everybody.
Good job.